everyone to Business School. I am Ethan Williams from Econ Infinity.
And I'm Joseph McDonald from Econ Infinity.
And today we'll be teaching economics. And our first topic today is on the central economic problem of scarcity. But before we dive into that, what do we do at Econ Infinity, Israel?
Well, we offer C-Sec and CAPE online economic classes, right? We have two packages. One with 15 students in room for just $6,000 a month, and if you want a closer experience, you can come to our one-on-one session.
Yes, so but most importantly at Econ Infinity, what we have to offer is competence, experience, and most importantly,
Passion.
Passion, exactly. Now speaking of passion, let's get straight into our lesson. The central economic problem of scarcity.
Well, Etel, hold on. Before we go into scarcity, we want to define what economics is. And economics can be seen through this example. Imagine you have like a land in a downtown area, right? This land is normally scarce. You have so many different uses for the land. You could build a football field, a hospital, a hockey pitch, anything you think. That in itself is what economics is all about. It's how scarce resources are shared amongst the various uses that compete for them. Etel, you have a view?
Yes, of course. Economics also, math is like the science of numbers. Economists, they want to feel that scientific aspect of it as well. So economics is the science of how to allocate scarce resources to build wealth for individuals and on a macro level for the country or a group on a whole. Now, let's dive right into the central economic problem of scarcity. And to define this, I like to use this example. I think my colleague doesn't like when I use this, but far back when we were on hall living, I remember he came to my room and he was like, Ethan, can I borrow some funds? I was like, for what? He said he wanted to purchase a supplement, a cheese. Oh, and of course, a Snickers. I was like, you have so much thing you want to purchase. How much money you have on you now? I was like, I only have $30. No, that's a problem in and of itself. He has these unlimited wants, but scarce resources. The money that he possesses, $30, that's scarce. A scarcity then is the availability of limited resources, but you have unlimited needs and wants.
And not only me can use an example, you can look at the government overall. Like a government, let's say Jamaica, it has a scarce resource which is the budget. It has many uses. It can build hospitals, roads, bridges, all of the essential assets that gives value and wealth. So economics is all about building wealth, and we have a problem of scarcity. So much limited resources.
Okay. Now, speaking of scarcity, because resources are scarce, we are faced with another phenomenon, that is choices. Now you have scarce resources, that simply means you have to choose between or among different outcomes. Now I'm sure you guys had to make some serious choices in your life. Now choices basically help you to allocate your resources more effectively and to suit your needs and wants. So with scarcity, you will definitely have to make a choice. But those choices that you make, you will have to give up something in return for something else. Remember, in economics there is no free lunch, which brings us into another topic, of course, opportunity cost. Choices and opportunity cost. So with choices comes something that you have to give up. And what you have to give up, we call that opportunity cost. But we'll discuss opportunity cost with more flesh in the next segment. But for now, I know you guys make choices. Like for example, with me, I could have decided to go work, enter the workforce and not to attend university. But I chose to attend university, and that was a choice because I have to give up, the income from work and choose more knowledge. I mean, Israel must have some other choice.
Well, not serious choices like that. I go through regular day choices. So for instance, I think about food a lot. I have to go and think about if I'm going to get a box food, if I'm going to get a bun and cheese, a water, you know, some Snickers or a little Charles chocolate. So these are the little individual choices that I have to make every day. And if I choose one thing, I have to give up the others. And that ties into what we're going to the next segment of opportunity cost. So stay tuned, guys, and next we will venture into what opportunity cost is all about. Remember, business school. Welcome back to business school, and remember, I'm Ainsworth. Now, we were talking about the concept of opportunity cost. A formal definition is the next best alternative foregone or given up. So you have to give up something to gain something. I'm sure that Etel has a view as well.
Of course, defining opportunity cost, we can use a perfect example. Like, I'm teaching, right? But I could be at Rick's Cafe, you know, just chilling. But I chose to educate the masses. So I have to give up Rick's Cafe. So I decided to teach, but I have to give up Rick's Cafe. Now the value of Rick's Cafe could be an intrinsic value to me. The value of that which I gave up is considered opportunity cost. Opportunity cost could be an intrinsic value, it could be a monetary value, or it could be in terms of goods and services, right? So we'll use a tabular example of what opportunity cost is. So I'll hand over to Israel McDonald.
All right, thank you, Etel. So, in calculating opportunity cost, we are going to create our own economy. In this economy, we're going to have two goods, fruitcake and sorrel. Think about all the resources in the economy being devoted to the production of these two goods. After production, we have so many choices that we can get. So these are the choices. A, where we have 0 fruitcake, 30 sorrel. B, 2 fruitcake, 29 sorrel. And even C, 4 fruitcake, 25 sorrel. You can choose any one of them, but we have to choose one. So imagine, to calculate the opportunity cost now, guys, imagine we were originally at point A and we're not that satisfied. We want to go to point B. What is the opportunity cost? It's simple. Remember the key terms, guys. You have to give up something to gain something. So let's focus here. Originally we had 0 fruitcake, 30 cups of sorrel. Now we have 2 fruitcakes, 29 cups of sorrel. What are we gaining? We're gaining actually fruitcakes. We increased that by 2. So that is the gaining side. But we have to see what we give up. We actually gave up what? 1 cup of sorrel. So if you notice, the opportunity cost here, guys, is 1. We had to give up 1 cup of sorrel to gain 2 fruitcakes. Etel, you have anything to add?
Yes, most importantly, whatever you're gaining, you have to give up something. So the language in economics, when you are speaking of opportunity cost in this context, if you are gaining fruitcakes, that simply means you are giving up sorrel. So the opportunity cost of the extra 2 fruitcakes is 1 sorrel, because we gave up sorrel. So if Ainsworth could just put sorrel over there.
Oh, I forgot. Thank you so much, Etel.
Yes, of course. You believe me.
Alright, so I know you guys can see it right now. Alright, we're at point D, and it says what is the opportunity cost of moving to point D. Point A, sorry, to point D. Now, what you're gaining again? Let's see. We had 0, 30, now we have 6 and 14. Obviously, we can now get more fruitcakes. That is what we're gaining. But what do we have to give up? That is our opportunity cost. We have to give up 16 sorrels. So remember, it's always what you give up is the opportunity cost, which is 16 sorrels. Now, a last one is that we are calculating opportunity cost from point E to D. But now, things get a little bit spinny, because once we're moving from E to D, we're now giving up fruitcakes, right? Because we had 8 here, and now we have 6, but we gain sorrel. Don't be tempted, guys, to write what you gain, write what you lose. So we're losing now 2 fruitcakes.
Yes, so I know what you guys are saying. Why is it that we were doing the top-down approach? Now we are going from the lower end to the top. Now with opportunity cost, in the CSEC exam also, and you have to pay attention to the direction that the examiner is asking. So in this case, when we were at A to D. So for example, you're at A consuming 0 fruit cakes and 30 solids, but you weren't satisfied with the 0 fruit cakes. You wanted fruit cakes to consume, right? So you move to point D. So you say, all right, I'm going to choose point D. In choosing point D, you gain 6 fruit cakes, but you have to give up from 30 to 40. You have to give up 16 cups of solid. So in that case, you chose D, so that's what you give up. Now, in this case, they are saying, what is the opportunity cost of moving from point E to D? Meaning that you are now consuming, so avoid all of this, you are now consuming at point E. 8 solids, 8 fruit cakes, and 0 solid. But now, you want some solids, right? But in order to gain solid, you have to give up something. And in this case, you have to give up fruit cake. So now we are moving to point D, where we are consuming 6 fruit cakes and now 14 solids. So that simply means you can use the top down or the low up method. Now, that takes us into our next topic. After this segment, we'll be looking at the different types of PPF, the production possibility frontier or curve, right, sir?
Right, Ethel. So we can graphically put this too-good economy that we created, and we can view it, how all of the resources are devoted to production of these two goods. So tune in, guys, and we will draw the PPFs and talk about them. Hey students, I want to give you a tip, right? Cooperation is the best outcome. It's not only one distinction given away, so you guys need to link up on the Google Meets, you know, the Zoom. Always link up, go through question, cooperate. It will work out better for everybody. Best solution.
In this time, as a teacher, you want to ensure that you engage the students, build their confidence, practice past papers, giving them real-life examples depending on the subject, and just engage them more so that they can believe in themselves.
Yes, welcome back to Business School. I am Ethel Williams, and remember I promised you that we'll look into the different types of PPF, production possibility frontier. Now, what is the production possibility frontier? Now, this is a graph that shows the possible combination of two goods that an economy can produce when all its resources are efficiently employed. Now, we have 3 production possibility frontiers on the board here. The first one, we see a constant slope PPF, a straight line. The next one, we see a bowl-shaped PPF, which represents a concave curve, and also the final one right over there that represents a convex PPF. Now, the constant slope PPF just simply shows you that the opportunity cost is constant over time. Meaning that when you move from one good to the next, the opportunity cost remains the same. This next PPF right here shows that we have the increasing opportunity cost. Meaning that when you move from one good to the next, the opportunity cost of the choice made will increase over time. And also the final good here, it shows you decreasing opportunity cost. Meaning that when you move from one good to the next, the opportunity cost will decrease as we make different choices on the production possibility frontier. Of course, at Econ Infinity, we have dived into the different types of goods that can fit on each axis, that can generate these types of PPF, and how we come about the curvature of the curves and how we arrive at the opportunity cost. Now, that's it for opportunity cost, which takes us into our next topic for this segment, of course, the circular flow of income.
Well, the circular flow of income tracks how income flows in an economy. So we have 2 agents in the economy. You have a household and a firm. Think as the household as somebody who eats pizza and the firm who makes it. Let's track how income flows in this economy right now. So we start off with the household who own factors of production. So that's land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship. They supply these factors into the factors market through factor services, which firms now use and make the good. So they make the pizza. Firms now supply that good into the goods market in the form of goods and services, and then households get back those goods. So that's what we call the real flow. It has nothing to do with the monetary value. We also have another flow, which is income, right? Or the monetary flow. So with the monetary flow, look at it from the firm's perspective.
To earn rent.
To pay for these factors of production. And ETEL can show you what they pay.
Yes, so when the household supply their factor of production to the factor market, they get income in return. So for example, when they also supply land will earn rent, labor will earn wages and salaries. Then we have capital that will earn interest, and of course, entrepreneurial ability that earns profits.
Alright, and all of those go back to the household who own factors of production. They have now the money to buy the goods and services. So they go to the goods market and get the pizza, and the proceeds go to the firm. That's what the circular flow of income is all about. We have a real flow that tracks goods and services, and then we have a money flow that tracks the income.
Yes, now this model, students, this model really makes some basic assumptions. They assume that all the incomes earned on the factors of production is spent on the goods and services within the economy. Now that's a ridiculous assumption, because people do other things with their money. For example, they save their money. So savings into the financial institutions, we call that FI. So people save their money. Also, some of their income is taxed. So income leaks from the circular flow in the form of taxes. And this goes to government, G, right? Government. And then also, they don't only purchase goods and services locally, they purchase goods and services abroad. We call that imports. So they spend on imports. So these are what we call leakages or withdrawals from the circular flow of income. So money comes out of this flow in these forms. Also, there's another assumption that all the monies, meaning that all the households, the only persons that spend on goods and services within the circular flow are households. That's another assumption, which is also ridiculous, because other persons spend on goods and services. For example, firms spend in the form of investments. So money enters in the form of investments. So firms spend on investments. Also, the government also spend. We call that government spending. GS, government spend on goods and services as well. For example, park program, etc. And also, persons abroad spend on goods and services. So exports. Yes, guys, so that's an injection into the circular flow. And that concludes our lesson for today.
Alright guys, so tune in, come next time when we will give you more interesting topics from business school.
Yes.
So take care and see you later.